All right, G boys, we are back for another episode. No idea what fucking episode number it is, but here we are. We've had a bit of a hiatus, call it a summer break hiatus. So we've had holidays, we've had illnesses, we've had plans and all sorts. So yeah, good to be back. Today we will be discussing music. However, before that, I just want to spend a few minutes discussing the boxing yesterday. Obviously, biggest fight for many a year. In my honest opinion, biggest fight I've been anticipating since probably Usyk Fury won. And in terms of the scale of it, probably Pacquiao Mayweather. And yeah, it didn't disappoint. Obviously, McSweeney, you were very impressive, if I must say so myself, in staying up until when did I think it started like about 5 a.m., 5:10
Yeah,
or something like that. It was crazy.
well,
Um,
six. It was at six, wasn't it? Because I remember setting my
oh,
alarm for quarter
really?
to four. It was at six. Yeah, I
Fucking
set
hell.
my alarm for quarter to four, and then after that, I was like checking the BBC website to see when they're coming out, and it was like, yep,
Ah,
moved back to five
okay.
a.m. and that became 5:30, 6. So yeah, six was when I think they walked out at six
Damn,
ish.
because I think I got about an hour sleep last night. Well, basically, I was getting so bored of the undercard fights, and I obviously had already used up most of my other time playing games or doing whatever, watching a movie. And I was like, yeah, fuck this. I'm gonna quickly get an hour in. And yeah, I just put my alarm clock on for every like hour just in case. And then finally I woke up and the ring walks on. I was like, perfect, cool. But yeah, good work staying up, mate. It's always
Yeah,
nice. I'm gonna mention that as well. It's always nice when you're watching a fight or an event, especially when it's silly o'clock and you've got other people on the phone and you're texting and you're talking through it, discussing it. It just adds to that. Many. I was speaking with you obviously yesterday. Tim Sewell was fast asleep. He couldn't hack it, obviously. So I was speaking with another good old mate of mine who I used to work with, and he's a boxing nut. I think I might mention in my voice note to you guys afterwards after the fight. So Steve, he's actually coming to the Christmas. He's actually coming to the Christmas lunch that I got sorted out as well.
oh yeah,
So he's a proper boxing nut as well, similar to me. And I was looking through my phone, I was scrolling through my contacts, and I was like, who can I talk about with this fight? And he was the like clear contender. And I asked him for his prediction and stuff, and I was like, and he was similar to me. Crawford's going to win. He's going to find the
yeah,
way. Might get robbed. More or less identical to what I thought would happen. And I was talking with him as well throughout the night, as well as you. So it was always nice. To be discussing something while you're watching it live. Back in the day, back in the UFC days when I used to stay up, obviously I'm not that interested anymore, as much as I used to be. Carl, another fan of the podcast, he used to watch the UFC fights with me live, and it was just nice. Me and him texting in between fights, in between rounds, what we think's going on, how it is, and it just helps you also stay up as well, because you've got that interaction. So yeah,
yeah,
it was good. Good job staying up, and the fight itself. Thankfully, no robbery as I was fearing. He absolutely scored him, as we discussed. It was borderline too easy at times. I saw Canelo's face afterwards when he did the post-fight press conference. It red all over, and yeah, just a beautiful, beautiful boxing clinic, in my opinion. And yeah, obviously, right man won, so that's all that matters.
yeah. I thought the most exciting parts. I think it was round nine where it just got off to a really quick start, and then
Mm,
you started to see him go through the gears, Crawford.
yeah,
Just with like the fast hands and stuff. I know I've always said down he is, despite his glass chin, that Amir Khan's got some of the fastest hands, hasn't he? But
yeah, yeah, yeah.
this guy was like on a par with that, wasn't he? In
Yeah,
terms of
he's
speed of
He's just so
hitting.
elusive, mate. Like he doesn't get hit. Like he's never been in trouble his whole career, Crawford.
Yeah,
Never once been. I think he got rocked once many many years ago by Gamboa, another former Olympian fighter, really good fighter.
yeah,
And he's never been down. He's never been in trouble in any fights. And a lot of people, of course, they were saying the same. Oh yeah, coming up three weight divisions too, if you count his last fight. But you go to the history books, and there was a great stat on the Netflix one of the pre-shows after the weigh-ins. The last couple of times people have come up in weight and fought someone. You talk about Pacquiao, De La Hoya, Leon Spinks came up to fight someone. You had Hagler and Hearns. The younger guy always won. The younger guy
yeah,
always won when they're going up in two weights. Mate, skill at the end of the day, speed beats power, and it's the good old saying. And Yeah, Crawford was just on another level, but we all know that's what he could do again. I've been following Crawford since his Ricky Burns fight. I remember watching that fight because I had an ACCA back in the day on, and what's it? Crawford was on my ACCA. Burns was a favorite that night.
Yeah,
And I remember watching him come to Scotland and absolutely destroy Ricky Burns, and I was like, "Yeah, okay, cool." And obviously, over the years, boxing's like probably my second favorite sport alongside football. So I'm a
mm.
huge, huge boxing nut, and yeah, it's just so nice to see him finally get the recognition he deserves. And he is pound for pound number one. He's usurped even Usyk with what he's done with his achievement, three-time
Yeah,
undisputed in three different weight classes. Usyk's done obviously three-time undisputed, but two in the same weight class. But for
yeah.
me, they're both up there. Yeah, great night, very enjoyable, and yeah, looking forward to the next one. Definitely looking forward to the next one.
Yeah. Yeah, that weight division I actually did pay a fair bit of attention to. I remember watching Spence Jr. against Brook, which I
Yeah,
quite
yeah,
enjoyed.
yeah,
I know the
yeah.
outcome I didn't enjoy it, but I was like, fair enough. Like
That
Spence
was
deserved to win.
that was at Bramall Lane, was it? Sheffield. I think
Yeah,
it was his first stadium fight Brook did, and yeah, obviously Brook's eye was really shot by then because Golovkin
yeah,
fucked up his eye socket, and then
yeah,
Spence came along and redone it again. So yeah, unlucky.
yeah. I mean, you would do, wouldn't you? Really, wouldn't you? You go for
You target it,
the
yeah.
weakness, wouldn't you? And
As
then,
nasty as it is, yeah, you would.
yeah.
Cool.
Anyway,
So we're gonna discuss music, and as you guys know, you guys are more music and nuts, if you want to put it that way, than what I am. I listen to the same old boring crap over and over again. So, but we'll get into that in a bit. So yeah, starting off with the first question. Favorite music genre. I'll kick it off as I'm already talking. So my favorite music genre. You guys, actually, you know what? Have a guess. I'm sure you guys should know already.
I'm gonna sort of just generally say pop, yeah, just pop music.
No, considering what I listened to, I don't know the last time. Obviously, McSweeney, I skimp off your Spotify because I'm a cheapskate.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've actually gone into my playlist. I mean, I'm sure you might have once or twice.
it's a mixed bag. I mean,
It
it's a mixed bag,
is, it
but it's
is,
not
yeah.
R&B, is it?
No, no, it's not. It's not Timothy.
No, it's like dance or something.
Yeah, yeah, it's
It
dance. Yeah,
is. Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
Dance, yeah, I love my dance music. Dance, not even you can put trance in there, a nice beat. I love remixes basically, and this will come on to one of my answers later on down the line. But
yeah.
yeah, for me, it's dance, mate. Always been a fan of dance, and still am to this day. But I am, again, I'm not like picky. Like if I like a song and it sounds good, I'll hear it somewhere, wherever it is, radio or in a car or wherever. If I like it, it'll go into my playlist. And that's more or less all there is to it. But yeah, dance is definitely my number one. What about
Yeah.
you, McSweeney?
Mine's actually rock, but I'd say if I was to sort of delve into the sort of subgenre, which would be like indie rock, which kind of became the case, I'd say early 2000s, like yeah, early 2000s moving into sort of my teens, I'd say rock, indie rock. Yeah, I've always been
Mm,
big on different types of rock, but yeah, if you had to kind of narrow it down to one particular type of that genre, I'd say indie.
okay, interesting. Timothy, yourself?
Um, for me, I'm just having a bit of a think about it. I mean, I would have said that like 90s indie would have been my favourite, but then that would have been associated to one band, and that was like Oasis. So I can't say I like Oasis as like a music genre, but I know that you guys know that I've got a bit of a soft spot for like the 80s. So like any 80s tune, like absolute 80s, Magic Radio,
Hot
greatest hits
80s.
radio, anything like that. I foam at the fucking mouth, and I will happily sing a song
No,
to 80s tune, even though it's like 10 years older than I am.
mate, we used to listen to a lot of hot 80s at Braemar, do you remember? And I literally had hot 80s on the radio the other day when there was just two of us in. So I'd agree. The old stuff is always the best stuff.
I was just. Um,
Okay, so that's genre out of the way. Favorite band? Timothy, you can kick it off. Your favorite band, please.
Hang on, just annihilating a piece of him, is that? Um,
Fucking hell. Not time for dinner, mate.
literally been looking after the girls, had no dinner. Shut up. Oasis, 100% Oasis. Actually, no. I'll take it back. 60% Oasis, and I round that back a little bit. There's another band that I found probably about 3 or 4 years ago that I got a bit of a soft spot for. Um, I mean, the attitude of the music, the attitude of the band, the attitude of the instruments that they played, the attitude of the lyrics. I mean, the lyrics in a lot of their songs were written by Noel Gallagher. I mean, I don't really have to go into the who's and the what's and the where's with like the whole of Oasis, because everyone knows who they are. Selling out gigs left, right, and centre, just not giving a shit about anything. A lot of people in the 90s could relate to the music. A lot of people in the early noughties could really relate to it. Albums were just brilliant. They were completely off their tits the whole time that they were a band, like either chemically or just like absolutely pissed up to the max, fighting with everyone. But the music that they came out with was just absolutely phenomenal. It's like I mentioned, the lyrics would always hit a soft spot with people, no matter how old they were and what kind of walk of life they were and what kind of issues they were going through. They obviously went on and did their own thing. Noel started High Flying Birds, and then Liam started BDI, and then he went off on his own a bit more, and then they've obviously formed again to do all this world tour. So far, so good. They're not kicking the shit out of each other. Then another band that I found a few years ago, I was watching Glastonbury when I was at home at my folks' place. I moved out of my folks' place in 2018, so I don't even know what year they headlined, but Metallica was a band that I was listening to when they were headlining at Glastonbury from home, and it was phenomenal. Again, some of the lyrics that they had were just next level. The tempo in how their music played. These guys have been around since like the 80s, and I was still absolutely going mad for it. It's weirdly music that's like really high tempo, really loud in your face, like heavy metal, rock music. It helps me concentrate on things, which you would think would be vice versa. You'd think that something banging your ears and giving you a fucking headache would be something that wouldn't help you concentrate, but it really does. Shout out as well to like the Arctic Monkeys. They helped me get into the indie way back in the day. Foo Fighters, love them, love their tunes, brilliant bands. The Stone Roses as well, brilliant bands. High Flying Birds, like I mentioned. The Black Keys. I could go on and on and on. I mean, there's so many bands that have just got so much brilliant music, but like Oasis for me is above most of them. But yeah, cheers.
Did you actually go to see them though, like, for this new retour bullshit?
No, because I knew that the girls were coming along. I know people that have got tickets, but mate, you're talking like hundreds to go and see them, and then it's like you may as well get like a second mortgage out. A lot of what wound me up is, in all honesty, I shouldn't have the right to go and see them, because even though I was born in the era, I didn't actually listen to the music. People that lived and breathed that music when they were growing up and actually listened to it when they were younger or when they were growing up, and so on and so forth, they should have the right to go and see that band. Someone who was born in the 2000s, who was in primary school when like Oasis broke up, shouldn't have the right to go and see them, because they weren't brought up on that music when that band was actually like alive and kicking. If you know
I'm
what I mean.
sure I'm sure it was a lot of older people obviously going and watching it. I've
Oh
never
yeah, there
got the
were.
whole
But then
Oasis thing, but yeah,
But there were like a lot
th-
of teenagers, so like a
yeah,
lot of like 17 and 18-year-olds who would have been what? Do the maths? What,
I'm sure.
2007?
Yeah, people just want a night out and go and enjoy a bit of music. I guess that's what it more is, in all honesty. But yeah, I mean, each to their own. But yeah, I've never really got Oasis, and you know, been a fan. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, McSweeney, your favorite band, please.
You know, it's funny because I'm probably going to like counter what you've just said, Tom. I actually do agree with what you're saying. And my favourite band is actually Duran Duran. The funny thing is, Duran Duran is still going now, but they're still like
Mm.
doing concerts now. They've been going since the 80s. I think like very tail end of the 70s, start of the 80s, like their first album, Girls on Film, which is in Vice City actually. That song. So that's obviously one of the main reasons why I got into them. But yeah, Duran Duran for me, I first heard them when I was in the car on Magic, going to school when I was about probably 9 or 10, and the song they were playing on Magic was "Save a Prayer," and that's again a lot of their songs. You guys, I don't know if you've heard much of Duran Duran. Have you, Mudge? I think Tom probably
Nah.
heard a lot. No,
Mm.
like Tom, you've heard quite a few Duran Duran songs, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. Yeah. I mean, that's like another brilliant band. I mean, that's like they made that kind of era, and they made that the music for that kind of decade, didn't they? Like they were like the
Yeah,
the hit makers.
yeah, they're like the quintessential '80s British band that you refer to really as like a reference point. And yeah, I'd say their best stuff is from the '80s, but like I've even been listening to some of the more recent stuff, like more recently, in the last decade, and also in the '90s as well. They just never, like, their songs never seem to sound the same, and I think sometimes some bands and some artists can fall into a trap of not really adapting and not really being versatile enough to mix up a bit. I mean, some bands are a bit guilty of doing that too much, but I think they've kept their main identity. And obviously, Simon Le Bon's still there with his voice and his singing. I haven't heard him obviously live, but yeah, I think for me, Duran Duran, over the last, I say, 10 to 15 years, I've been listening to them a lot, and I've grown like an appreciation for them. Oasis is definitely like up there in terms of my top five, but I'll say definitely Duran Duran would be the one for me. What about you, Mudge? Favorite bands?
Again, these questions are going to be hard for me to answer because I'm not as big into my music. It's hard for me to pick out a specific band who I can say that I absolutely love and adore. But I will just mention a few names in terms of bands who I've listened to over the years, and I thought, yeah, and I'm talking about repetitive value where they make more than one or two good albums or songs even.
Yeah,
Growing up, an old mate of mine used to obviously be into his music, so I'd borrow a lot of albums from him, from fucking Kylie Minogue to Led Zeppelin. I remember listening to a lot of Led Zeppelin back in the day. There was another one, I think, and another one that's rock, but it might have been AC/DC or one of them. He used to have a mix of all these albums. Speaking of Kylie Minogue, like you might remember when we were in Amsterdam, Simon.
yeah,
Well, while I'm off my nut, shit faced, I'm in my room with the door closed while you lot are watching TV. I'm in my room dancing to myself to fucking Kylie Minogue. So
yeah,
yeah, I don't really have a favorite band, but again, growing up, another big band at the time was Green Day,
yeah,
and
yeah,
again, my mate had the American Idiot album. So I borrowed that, and I was literally listening to the album basically over and over again. Going to school, coming back from school, on my phone, obviously, or my MP3 player, whatever it was. And they made loads of stuff on the album which I liked. Then when their second album came out, 21st Century Breakdown, it was the second most famous album I'd say at the time. Which they created, and again, loads of songs on there which I like. So I don't know. I'll probably put Green Day up there as one of my favorite bands. Their third album I downloaded, I think um, it was pretty poor. One of the newer ones. There was no songs that I took out of it. What I basically do is I get albums, um, and I go through all of it, listen to the songs at least once or twice over, and the ones I like, I pick them out and I put them into our core folder that they go into the root of my phone back in the day. And yeah, from that album from Green Day, there was nothing which I picked out, and I thought, yeah, I actually like that. Obviously, I like even the likes of like bloody ABBA, they made some great songs, and I think they're a great band. Girls Aloud, even, I love a few of their songs.
mate.
Mate,
Abby used to drive me absolutely bonkers. My mum used to play it all the time. And look, there might be. I think there's like one song I like, which is that. Is it "Winner Takes It All" or something?
Yeah, I've got that on my playlist on the
Yeah,
Spotify.
yeah,
Now you
yeah.
might remember even on Timothy's birthday because we made a playlist and I had a few ABBA songs in there. And actually, when a few of them came on, some of the older people there that are also older than us said, "Oh yeah, yeah, great, let's get some ABBA on." You know what I mean? So there's
Oh
a
my
mix
god,
in
I
there.
love this song.
Yeah,
I love this song.
yeah.
Oh,
So
that's amazing.
yeah, it's tough. I mean, take that, another one. I love a
Yeah,
lot of take that songs. I actually was interested in going and watching them at the O2 a couple of years
yeah,
ago because they're a band who make not just one or two great songs. They've got loads of great songs.
yeah.
And a few of them again, I used to have them on my phone. So yeah, it's tough for me to pick one out, but in terms of childhood memories and growing up, I'd probably put Green Day up there. I did love the whole rock and rock and roll style, especially with being a wrestling fan as well. A lot of the theme songs for the pay-per-views used to be rock.
Yeah.
As you know, Simon, I mentioned Drowning Pool Step Up, one of my favorite songs ever, WrestleMania 20 theme song. That's still on my playlist. That's still on my phone to this
That
day because
bodies
I
as
liked it
well.
so much.
That was a brilliant song, Bodies by them.
Oh,
Drowning Pool.
oh,
Let the bodies hit the floor.
Let the bodies hit the
the
floor.
ECW. I'm trying to think of was it
Yeah,
ECW? Yeah, it was
it
ECW. Yeah,
was. But they used it. They used it before. Obviously, ECW came back in I think it's
yeah.
2005, and then but they used it in like 2001 during the whole alliance thing. Where the WCW and
Invasion.
ECW came in to
Yeah, yeah,
invade
yeah.
WWF, and they used it for I think it was SummerSlam or something.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay, okay. Yeah, no,
yeah,
there was a lot of rock and, like I said, Led Zeppelin, a lot of their
yeah.
stuff I used to like, Ramble On, Stairway to Heaven, and there was another, well, what's the other really, Whole Lotta Love or whatever it's called.
Oh yeah,
You know,
yeah,
those songs I listened to over and over again back in those days, but I can only pick out two or three from the album, which I really liked.
yeah, yeah.
Black Dog, another one. It's not, I used to love that song. From the album, and I listen every now and again. If it pops up on the radio, or it pops up somewhere, I'm like, oh fucking hell! It just brings me back to it takes me back to that time.
Yeah,
But
I've got to
yeah,
say, AC/DC are a brilliant band as well. You mentioned them earlier.
mm,
I only got into them about probably, again, about 10, 15 years ago. And they had a lot of really massive bangers.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, but back to the question, I just can't
Yeah,
put my finger on a specific band which are that are my best or favorite. If I had to really pick one, it would be Green Day. But again, with Green Day, the last couple of albums have been piss poor, in my opinion. But American Idiot and 21st Century Breakdown were fucking mustard, in my opinion. So, yeah, I'll stick with them for now.
yeah,
Favorite artist. Now, yeah, again, I will kick this one off because I can't pinpoint a favorite artist. Now, one thing I will say is, and again, on the playlist I have on Spotify, McSweeney, if you check there, there's a lot of songs I have there, like in the groups, which are remixes, and I sent you one on the group chat before the Robbie Williams one.
yeah.
So Max Sanna and Steve Pitron are their names, and they literally are not a band, or they're not a artist or anything, or they're not like a single entity. They have made songs like the remixes by themselves as well, but they're normally always together. And I just love what they do with music. I just love what they do. The remixes, they have this style that they put in, and for me, it's just so fucking good. Like I like the remix over the original, if you get what I mean. Normally that shouldn't be the way. And I think the ability that those guys have, is just, yeah, again, on another level. And I love so many of their songs that they've remade and remixed. So I'd probably put them two up there as my favorite
Yeah.
artists. I can't just pinpoint a specific artist. I've got people who I like, obviously, growing up. I will
Kylie.
mention. Kylie, yes, she's made a few bangers which I love. When
Yeah,
I was growing up, I listened to a lot of Sean Paul. He made some really good fucking songs as well, and I'm not just talking one or two. I had about four or five, maybe even six of his songs, which I was listening to a lot back in the day. So yeah, there's other artists there, mate, which I will be forgetting the names of. But yeah, those are a few. But again, I can't put my finger on a favorite. I'd have to say Max Sanna and Steve Pitron for the remixes that they fucking do. Yeah, and I'm still listening to them to this day. So yeah. What about you, McSweeney? Favorite artist?
I've got to say Michael Jackson. I know there's a lot of controversy about him as a person, his
Mm.
background and that, but I think that's
What did he do? What did he do,
well,
Simon?
well,
Really
Aren't they
do.
allegations? They're all allegations, aren't they? Really, but I think that's high suspicion. Is it?
Exactly. They are
You agree with me?
allegations.
Allegations,
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
Look,
yes.
it's always going to be a bit. It's tarnished the right words. His legacy, but my mate Lavin is massively into music even more than me, and he always told me about how his dad Joe Jackson was just basically horrific as like a human being, and obviously bring up how many kids, how many brothers and sisters he had. It's like what family of about 12 kids was it? 12 siblings. Yeah, Jackson
Yeah,
5 at least.
something like
Anyway,
that. Yeah, there was loads of them.
Jackson
Yeah,
5 at least, and I think there were a few others. But yeah, going back to him as an artist, and obviously he left the Jacksons, Jackson 5, and did his own thing. And obviously he was a standout guy that was always going to be the one always picked on by his dad because of his talent, I guess of his looks as well, which obviously changed over the years drastically to the point where you couldn't even recognise him. But his actual ability to produce unbelievable music, I think, was never in question. And yeah, obviously listening to the 80s stuff, which ties in with what we mentioned before, I'd say he'd be my favourite artist. And I think, again, the sort of person that will always live on forever, almost like immortal for his
yeah,
music. You
yeah,
talk about
for sure.
Elvis, you talk about Madonna, you talk about MJ, Prince, other artists, Danny is as well, Elton John. I'm just randomly calling out names, but you get what I'm saying. He's
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
up
yeah.
there with like the absolute best of the best, isn't he?
100% he is. And again, obviously, I wasn't like a huge fan of his music growing up, but again, I did listen to a few of his songs, especially after he passed away and shit. And I thought, yeah, these are fucking brilliant. So yeah, I think he'll always be up there. Timothy, you next. And by the way, Timothy, your mic's coming on and off all the time. You got a shitty microphone as always, mate. Sort it out, will ya? And go on, will ya?
Shut up, you slag. So much like Simon, liking pedos, my favourite musical artist is R. Kelly. So what he's done
Enough
is,
pedos.
yeah, I'm only joking. Um, I don't know. I individually, um, I'd say I'm more of like a band man. To be honest, I like a band. Like I like someone who can sing, someone that can play the drums, someone that could play the guitar, someone that could do something else in the background. Individually, I mean, shout out again to Simon's recommendation of MJ. I mean, the albums that he brought out, and the songs that he brought out were just next level. I mean, the guy could sing for everything. I mean, he was an unbelievable person. Um, Unbelievable person in the sense of the music that he did. He's obviously his personal life is next level. But anyway, um, I don't know other artists. I mean, I'd say that I have like a massive appreciation for artists that have done what they've done in the world. I mean, Taylor Swift. I mean, I'm not a fan of music sold on the fucking radio when I'm in the car, but
Batty boy.
gotta love it, mate. Gotta love it. But I mean, she's like £1 billion worth person. I mean, what she's done, she's come out of nowhere. Like since she was like a little teenager, she writes songs for people still, not just for her. And she's like just maxed out completely. And now she's going out with like an NFL star, so she kind of shows her worth. Other people, I
I feel
mean,
like I want to comment on Taylor Swift. I feel like what I've seen of late, the last 5 years to a decade, it's almost like she's it's like a religion. Like the way people are
yeah,
fucking crazy about her.
yeah,
It's like
100%.
fucking hell, man. It's like bloody hell. Like I can't remember. Maybe MJ was in that similar bracket many years ago. People used to worship him, but yeah, it's crazy. But yeah,
I
she's
mean,
clearly got loads of fans. So fair play to them.
it's probably very similar to those fanatic wrestler fans who go, wrestling is real. How dare you say that wrestling isn't real? It is so. It is not fake. It is the most realest thing ever.
Yeah.
That's like her fans are known as Swifties. I mean, they've got their own fucking name and they follow her about and they believe that her songs talk to them on a personal level about a breakup and what they need to do in their life. And they follow her around the world and they pay hundreds of pounds for tickets. I know I was talking about like Oasis spending £100 on tickets, and and then their music relating to them. But I mean, these people are fucking next level, and they literally go and think that she could become like a massive game-changing person for the world and for the US and so on and so forth. That she should go into politics and yada yada yada. Like, they honestly believe that she can go into politics and she can change the world because of who she is. She was just nuts. But other than that,
fair play to her.
Kanye West. I mean, he came out of nowhere. I mean, obviously now he's off his fucking head. But anyway, I mean, to be a really famous person in the world, in the spotlight, you need to have something bad about you, which obviously all the tabloids and media are going to find it out. But he's obviously next level. But he came from being like a college dropout. Obviously, his album was called Our Two. First album, next level stuff. Jay-Z as well. He was like a drug dealer. Then he started to make songs, and now he's worth $1 billion. Same as his missus, but I'm guessing she wasn't really. She was self-made, but she didn't come from a band or anything like that. Someone who I'd probably give a shout out to would be Nas. I mean, as a rapper, he was next level, and like he's got some brilliant songs that he brought out in like the 90s and the early noughties. I mean, I still have a bit of a soft spot for rap. It's got to be a decent rap song that can't be auto-tuned, which they all fucking are. Yeah. But he was an unbelievable rapper. There's a rap song that he did. I can't remember the name of it, but it was basically he rapped the whole song in reverse order. I can't remember the name of it. When it comes up to, I'll have a look on my Spotify and I'll let you guys know my favourite song. But no real favourite individual artists. Just a shout out to all those that are self-made.
Taylor Swift, mate, for you. Taylor Swift for you.
We're going to nominate.
As you commented on rap, you guys know my views on rap. I've never been a huge fan of rap, and I make the whole comment, it's not music, they're just talking. But especially of the generation of now, I think all the rap is absolute wank, in all honesty. I don't like any of it. But going back to the old stuff, obviously you had Tupac, you had Biggie, even to be honest, 50 Cent. Like some of his songs I used to fucking love. Biggie's again got a couple of songs which I absolutely love as well, and I still listen to this day. But yeah, even one specific song I remember listening on repeat when it came out. 50 Cent and The Game, Hate It or Love It. Fucking hell, man, that song was so good. Wow. And yeah, and again I still would listen to. I'll crack it out every now and again. I'll listen to it, and yeah, great song. But yeah, I've never really been a fan of rap.
I'm similar as well. Like I went for a phase of liking it, but I still listen to your song now. Like I mean, is it Ice Cube? You know how we do it?
Oh, the old stuff, yeah.
The stuff now I wouldn't even touch with bars pole.
Exactly.
The songs like that, and then obviously like Eminem when he came out, it was like seen as like cool to be listening to him. Yeah. See, it was cool to be seen listening to him bitch about his ex-girlfriend, his ex-wife, and moaning about that 24/7. So
can you go on mute, please? Sorry, McSweeney. Sort your shitty mic out, beloved.
I kind of feel like similar to you. There was that period where it was like D12, and he had was it The Game you mentioned? The Game. And
Game, he made some good stuff as well. Yeah.
Dr. Dre, I've actually think Dr. Dre might be the best of the lot for me, but I know Nas is a good one. But I listened to more of that 2001 album that he came out with, which is really good. But rap and hip hop for me, it's all right, but it's not my favourite.
Yeah, it may even So Sorry Crew. I remember listening to them back in the day. They had two really good songs, 21 Seconds, and there was another one as well. It was like, obviously I think when you're growing up in school and stuff, it was very, big at that time. So naturally we got into it. Same with Eminem was huge. I remember double taping a cassette of someone which had the Eminem album on it. We double taped it. We were listening to it as well growing up. But good times for sure. But none of this stuff, as you said, wouldn't touch with Barge Power. 100% agree on that. Favorite era of music. Now I know me and Timothy sort of touched on it. I'm assuming our answers will be similar, where we would say 80s. But to be honest, like me personally, I don't really have a favorite era. I love the 80s stuff. I love the old stuff, and I still listen to ancient stuff right now. I, but at the same time, right now, like I might be sitting somewhere and, like I say, I hear a song or I hear it, and I'm like, fucking hell, what was that? That was pretty good. One example I'll give is like when I was in Ukraine, I was sitting in a restaurant, ordered some food. I think it was pizza with my daughter. She wanted pizza. We were sitting in a restaurant waiting for it to arrive, and they had like this TV on, which was streaming random songs. And there was this video, Billie Eilish, who's obviously pretty popular right now.
Mm.
There was a video that was on TV. It wasn't even the video of the actual song. It was a video of like the point of view of her brother, who's obviously really big and that does a lot of her songs with her as well. And I don't know, it just touched the nerve of just listening to it. It was Birds of a Feather.
I thought
And I
you
was
said
like,
that.
and I was
Yeah.
like, fucking hell, that's such a fucking good song. I was like, well, how the hell have I not heard this before? And the video was all really like emotional. He's recording as they're singing and they're recording each other, and it was just really really cool. And then I went and down, got the song obviously on Spotify, and on my playlist, go and look at my playlist later, McSweeney. You'll see on my playlist, every single playlist starts off with the Man of Steel, one of the songs. Oh fucking hell, I can't believe I forgot the name. Why so many questions or something? Fucking hell, I'm gonna open it up and have a quick look. I have so many questions. It's when obviously Henry Cavill in the Superman movie is asking all the
Yeah.
questions and stuff, and the songs on. So I always start that off. It's like an intro. And then, yeah, obviously, Birds of a Feather is there right at number 2 spot. And I remember going through a period after listening to it, like over and over again. I was like, fucking hell, man, it's such a good song. But yeah, going back to the question, era of music, I can't really put my finger on it. I like stuff from all eras, but if I had to sit down and choose, like put a radio on and choose a certain set of songs to listen to,
Yeah.
80s, 100%.
But would you really? Because the funny thing is, I listen to like 90s dance music a lot. Yeah, there's a playlist for that which I really like, and I kind of think the best
Yes,
era for
yes.
dance was
Yeah.
90s. I
You know
honestly do.
what? You know what? That's a very good point. And I probably would have to retract and say 90s as well, especially for dance and trance and stuff like that. Again, funnily enough, I think on Spotify, I have got a few playlists. Like, actually, I've got it open right now. Trance anthems, 90s to 100s. And I remember
Yeah,
a lot of the albums and a lot of the songs that I do like and I've got in there are actually 90s songs. So yeah, that's a good shout. I don't
yeah,
know. I don't know, for some reason I always choose hard 80s when I want to listen to something on the radio, which is why I said that. But yeah, no, you're right, mate. 90s. It's
yeah.
got to be 90s. Yeah.
Free from Desire by Gala. You got, I'll see. The other ones, like I'm thinking. What was? I'm looking at it, but
There's too
it's
many. There's too many to even give you a name.
Stardust. It's music sounds better with you. You sure do as well, which is by a band called
Yeah, yeah,
Strike.
yeah, yeah.
All that sort of stuff that was like it defines. Even a song that we used to sing to Eden Hazard, Unlimited. Or was it Too Unlimited?
God, I
There's no
can't
limit.
remember. I can't even
There's no
remember
limit. But it's a brilliant
his
song.
chant.
Yeah,
Shit.
yeah.
Another thing I will mention, because we don't obviously have a question on favorite album or anything like that,
Favorite
but
song?
a lot of the albums that I used to listen to and download, they used to, like they used to do the now hits and stuff. Because I'd always
Yeah,
download the now hits and listen to obviously the top 40 or top whatever it was at that time. I used to download. There was this album where actually my favorite song I sent you before is from Clubland. They stopped doing them now, but they used to release a new Clubland album, like, I think once every couple of months. Might have been every year actually. So Clubland 16, Clubland 17, so Clubland 18, and I download them and I go through all the songs again. They were basically club anthems or songs, but are remixed and stuff. And I love those albums. Another great album which I have multiple favorite songs from, Head Candy, Ministry of Sound, and stuff like that.
oh yeah.
But yeah, that's what I basically do. Just download random albums and just yeah, like I said to you before, pick songs out which I really like, and they'd go into my core folder. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I
Timothy,
feel
your
like.
favorite era? Obviously, McSweeney, I'm assuming you're sticking with 90s, aren't you? So
Uh, well, no, I'd say 80s. I'd say 80s, but I think that the
yeah,
best era for dance was 90s. But
yeah,
I'd
yeah,
say
yeah, yeah.
80s, and again, a lot of that is driven by, well, GTA Vice City. I think that kind of
yeah.
swerved it for me. But and obviously listening to songs on the way to school, but it
Yeah.
didn't really click until I was about sort of over 10, 12 years old. But yeah, Tom, what's your favourite? You're gonna say 80s, you?
Yeah, I'll probably go for 80s, to be honest. I mean, if I'm listening to the radio at work and I'm having to do something, I'll happily play it. But yeah, 80s. I mean, I honestly feel like I was born in the wrong decade by 10. Like, no, not even 10 years. About 3 years or so. But I think I was born wrong in the wrong time.
Mate, you're dropping in and out, by the way. And it's like you're really far away.
Is it any better?
Yes.
Okay, I'll stick it loosely in my mouth near enough. Um, yeah, 80s more for me. 90s I'd get it with like the dance albums and like the dance anthems that came out, but I'd say I was too young for it. But obviously, if I'm out and about or if I'm at a club or whatever, which I haven't been to a club in fucking years, or if it does come on the radio, like I'll happily sing along and I'll fist pump and all that jazz. But 80s for me, with some of the bands that came out with tunes like Aha and Depeche Mode, and I mean, I could be talking for hours and hours about the band, so I'll just leave it there because we don't have enough time on the podcast, really.
That's funny. So we've got 80s and 90s, more or less the old stuff. So yeah, I guess that says a lot. Have you been to any live concerts? Is the next question. And if so, who did you see? I've only ever been to one concert in my life, and I think I told you both about it already. It was Coldplay in Wembley, 2016, I think it was. My only one and ever time. And I only went because someone I knew had a spare ticket, and I was like, yeah, fuck it, why not? And I was literally there during they have the people come on first, supporting that's whatever the fucking they are called. I was on my phone watching France versus Albania because there was Euros on at the time rather than listening to the music. So that summed up how interested I was at the time. And then obviously Coldplay eventually came on. Yeah, I know a couple of their songs, so it was all right. It was nice to experience, let's just put it that way. But yeah, Coldplay was the only one. What about you, Timothy?
Guys, going on, I'm mute. I've seen a few live bands. I've seen who have I seen? I've seen Noel Gallagher when he was out of Oasis when he was part of High Flying Birds. I've seen someone who's kind of a similar kind of band to them, Miles Kane. He's on the same level as like Oasis and Arctic Monkeys. I've seen him a few times. He kind of he listening to his music kind of introduced me into like the indie moddy kind of tunes. A few. When did I go and see him? Back in the day, I'd say I'm going to say about 14 years ago. Do you guys? You would probably know him much more than Simon, but Simon may know him too. Do you remember MK, the dance DJ?
No, it doesn't ring a bell, if I'm honest.
MK, the letters MK. No.
If you were to, I feel like I have definitely seen it, but if you were to name a song, then I might recognize it. But
See,
yeah.
it's been so fucking long. Give me a second. I might have to go onto Spotify. Give me 1 second.
It does sound familiar, but yeah, I'd have to pin it to like a certain song.
Yeah, I think
At the minute, it's not. My brain's not coming up with anything.
well, looking on Spotify,
17 is one of their songs.
Yeah.
So that rings a bell. I'm just looking at the other stuff.
Push the P,
These are all new stuff. I got to look at old stuff. Yeah, I feel like I've definitely seen the name, but yeah, I don't. I can't go. Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, in all honesty, the only reason why I mentioned him is I've seen him at like a club with a few guys I used to work with years ago, and I thought he was pretty big in the field that he was actually working in. Being like a DJ within a dance field, I thought he was a big old number, but obviously not as big as I thought he was. I've seen after the 28th, after the Formula One in Abu Dhabi, which will remind me and this is horrible, when were the terrorist attacks in Sri Lanka?
2019, wasn't it? Just after I joined
2019.
SH, yeah.
So me and the missus were went to be going to that, but we couldn't because of obviously that kicking off. So the travel agent and the Home Office said, "Don't go out there." So then we got our money back. So we went to Barbados for one part of our holiday. Then we went to the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix for the second part of it. And they do like a live band after each Formula One circuit, but they don't tell you who the band is. And it was the last race of the year. Hamilton won, went to the gig venue, and it was the Killers, which obviously massive band. And me and the missus only know 2 fucking songs, and that's Miss a Bright Side. But if you don't know that song is by the Killers, and you've been under a rock for the last God knows how many fucking years. And then you got yeah, you gotta help me out, yeah. And then they have a new album come out.
That's so weird. Sorry to butt in, but I only know one Killers song. I don't even know if it is the
Really?
Killers, but Smile Like You Mean It. Is that Killers?
Smile Like You Mean It.
Yeah.
That's
Somebody told me.
I know. Yeah.
Human.
Somebody
Bones.
told me. Yeah.
There's a lot more than you think. Actually, they did a Human was on FIFA actually.
Yes.
Yeah, they had a song on FIFA, which I'm sure is Human, but the song that you're talking about is All These Things That I've Heard, is it?
That's the one, yeah. All these things that I've heard or done or something.
Yeah. All These Things That I've Done, sorry. All These Things That I've Done, not I heard, yeah.
But I completely forgot about that because it wasn't because it's not one of those gigs that you book. It's just we went to something and then there was something on after it. So that's the only reason why I jumped out of my head for some weird reason.
Yeah.
Other than that, keep it stum. Might see a live band at a pub if I ever bump into someone, just like a tribute band or something. But other than that, don't really mingle.
Sweeney?
Yeah, so I've seen Jay-Z twice, I've seen Coldplay twice, yeah. And funny enough, the Coldplay and Jay-Z was in the same night. And that was at Wembley in 2009. And funny
How'd
thing
that work
is,
then?
well, they had one song. Coldplay had a song called Lost, yeah, where they released an album. I think it was a Viva La Vida album, or possibly one after that. But the song Lost is where basically Jay-Z would then come on and he would do like a rap during that song, which kind of did go quite well, but it was a bit strange. I think it was like the sort of the dawning of a new era. Again, 2009, where you're starting to get more kind of what's the words collaborations between say Rihanna and Calvin Harris or Elton John. Obviously, Elton John and Dua Lipa now and people like that. You get all these weird mixes. Weird
Elton John and Blue.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. That's the one. I heard that in the yesterday actually on the radio. But the first one I saw, which again was a bit of a strange collaboration, was Linkin Park and Jay-Z.
Oh yeah, of course they had that.
So I saw them at the MK Bowl in 2008. I was just turned 18 a couple months before that, but we saw them. We saw Pendulum, who's drum and bass, which is not really my thing, but again at the time they were pretty big. Enter Shikari, I'm pretty sure you guys have heard of.
No, I haven't.
So, Tom, you definitely heard of Enter Shikari, surely.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. So they were getting people. That was the same one. It was a boiling hot day in like July 2008. They're getting people to like do human pyramids and mosh pits and that sort of stuff. Not really my thing, but it's quite an interesting mix. Also, you had Linkin Park were amazing. I've seen Keen as well, which I think you quite like Keen.
Oh, well, only with that one song, everybody's changing. That's the only song I know of this.
They got so many better songs than that as well. It was a good song, but they got a lot of really good songs. Green Day I saw at that shitty stadium called the Emirates in North London.
Oh, mate, I would have loved to go to that.
In 2013. It was a good concert, but shame about the venue. Saw Fatboy Slim last year at skiing in Austria. Saw Rudimental, Bicep, Armin van Helden a couple of times. Saw The Prodigy, which was... which I told you about again with skiing this year, but obviously minus the lead singer. And last but not least, I saw Oasis and Kasabian on the same day.
Mate, you've done quite a lot there, haven't you?
Done well, and Actually, as a little aside to the Coldplay in 2012, supporting Coldplay in 2012 was someone called Rita Ora, and I was like, who the fuck's this? And my mate's like, oh yeah, she's just come on the scene recently. Her name's Rita Ora, and I was like, who? And now, of course, she's like absolute megastar, isn't she? Really?
Yeah, I mean, she's quite a big, she's a household name, ain't she? So yeah.
Yeah, but no, I say Oasis and Kasabian be the one. 2009, just before Oasis split up as well for the first time.
Mm. I
Manchester.
know we are running out of time, so I think two of the other questions are relating to concerts, so I might skip them.
Yeah.
The last one was, how has your music taste changed over the years? I think for that one, I've more or less answered that already by what I've said. It hasn't really. I listen to the same old shit which I've been listening to for 20 years ago, and I still do to this day. And like I said, if I listen to something new or I hear something, it will go into my playlist or it will get added on. But majority of it is old stuff, not hardly any new stuff in there. Like I said, that Billie Eilish song is the only new thing that's on my playlist. But yeah, my taste hasn't changed at all. I'll take over to you guys, McSweeney.
Yeah, well, I say naturally in the 90s growing up, it was big pop scene, Brit pop scene with Oasis and Blur and like Suede, Carsten, was it Pulp as well? Pulp, bands like that, Ocean Colour Scene, and then it also moved on to UK Garage in the 2000s, obviously from the dance era as well. And then it moved on to indie and rock. And yeah, at the last kind of 10, 15 years, it's more focused on the older stuff, but then it also combined with a bit of house music. I'm quite a big fan of house music. One of the most notable names that I really like is Disclosure. And I was meant to see him live a couple of years ago during COVID, and obviously got cancelled. But yeah, it's kind of been a bit of a mixed bag throughout. But I think one of the things that definitely paved the way initially was, do you guys also remember Top of the Pops? Yeah,
Yeah.
on a Friday night, that'd be like the main thing that set the scene in terms of music for me. And then listening to the top 40 on a Sunday, who's number one,
Mm,
Christmas number one as well was a big thing. But
yeah.
yeah, I think like you can't really put your finger on like music that's come out this decade. I can't really say what it is. Whereas at least like say 10 years ago, I could say what the 2010s were, what the noughties were, 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s. But the music now for me is almost like dying a bit of a death in some
Yeah, yeah,
ways.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
think that's why my taste is kind of solidified with the older stuff.
You know what? I'm just looking at the questions and I can't believe I did this. Did I skip out favorite song?
You did, and I did
I
mention it,
did.
but I think you were
You
in a bit
did,
of
yeah.
a
Oh,
trance at the
sorry.
time, mate.
No, no, sorry. Timothy, if you can sum up your taste in music and then straight away go into your favorite song, please, mate.
Yeah, so I mean, my taste in music, since um, since when I was in secondary school, all the way up until starting uni, I was that typical bloke who would wear the baggy jeans and the baggy t-shirt and the baggy hoodie and um, the really shitty trainers, like the latest and greatest trainers. I thought I was like a cool kid on the block. I always listened to rap music and so on and so forth. Went to uni. A bloke who was from the northeast, he introduced me to Oasis, Mars Kane, and Kasabian, Arctic Monkeys, Paul Weller, and so on. And it was music that I could relate to. It was music that I enjoyed. So it kind of changed my attitude. And it changed the person that I was. It changed my feelings and so on. Obviously, like I mentioned, I've still got a soft spot for the 80s music. I've got a soft spot for a little bit of rap. I've got a soft spot for um, a lot of Oasis songs and rap songs, rock songs, and so on and so forth. The current genre of music is the only way that I can relate to it is the Birds of Fit that make all that music. I mean, Charlie XCX, I mean, she's unbelievable. I would happily take on a date and all that jazz, not to get really, not just to stay really PG about it. But
Pick your knob in a.
basically, yeah. But at the Glastonbury headliner, the fucking music that she was playing was unbelievably shit. It was terrible, but she attracted tens of thousands of people, and she was making a stupid amount of money from it. I mean, I don't get it. I don't understand it. The kids nowadays are fucking retards, in all honesty. But anyway, my favourite song, Oasis song, would be Slide Away. I mean, everyone obviously goes for Wonderwall and don't look back in anger, but Slide Away. A lot of the quote unquote die-hard fans who know Oasis relate to that song. It's a brilliant song. It's one of the best songs that they had. A lot of Foo Fighters songs, Ecstatic, and there's another one which I can't remember, but they're, in all honesty, they're my drunk songs. When I'm drunk and I'm walking home from the train station and I'm having a cigarette right before I get into my house, I'll listen to them on full blast on my radio, on my Spotify, and fucking love it. I will find out that song by Nas, but one of you guys can take over.
Yeah, McSweeney, your favourite song, please.
Yes, I'll go with "Live Forever" by Oasis.
Oh, I couldn't.
Which were you going to use that one, Tom?
I wasn't. I didn't even think about that. That's a good shout.
It's become my favorite. I mean, I had a lot of, like, some might say it's a really good song. Roll with it. Wonderwall. Don't Look Back in Anger. All the sort of standard ones that you'd expect. Actually, the album Hindu Times, I thought was not Heaving Chemistry, was it? Heaving Chemistry.
Wanker. I can't remember now.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so Heaving Chemistry came out in 2002, and that's got Stop Crying Your Heart Out, Hindu Times, Little by Little, that sort of stuff. Songbirds. I'm sure Songbird used to come all the time on Absolute, didn't it? During like lockdown and stuff. But yeah, the favourite one for me, and it actually culminated in me playing it more during the time we won the Champions League in 2021. And of course, the sort of the banner, the flag that we put up with all the stuff that we won, or something Chelsea's won, is like the sort of caption saying, "We see things they'll never see," and that's a big part of that, the chorus in that song. And every time I see that, I just hear "Live Forever" playing in my head, and it's, to me, it's just it brings back so many good memories. And it's an amazing song as well. It's one of the early songs, I think, from the first album. But
I think so.
Yeah, that'd be a one for me. But I actually thought you were going to say Supersonic was your favourite, but
don't tease me. Every fucking Oasis song, every Oasis song ever is my favourite.
Yeah. What about you, Mitch? I know you're probably going to say there isn't one that you can pinpoint.
Oh no, I mentioned it already. It's the Candy remix, the Robbie Williams Candy remix.
Oh, it is. Is that one?
What's it? Max Sana and Steve Pitcher on their remix that they did. You might remember in Amsterdam when you were with me and Darren. He said, "Oh, have you? Candy hasn't played yet because he knows when we're in Amsterdam, I play Candy at least once because I have to." So that's my favorite. I think the story of why it's my favorite, obviously, because it was a banging tune and I listened to it over and over again for many years over the years. But when I was in Amsterdam once, actually with him, it must have been with him, and I was playing it, and obviously I was already hallucinating and well off my head at that time, and it was playing with the visualization, the milk drop it's called within Winamp, and I was just fucking taken over by that song, and it just took me to a different journey, or whatever the hell you want to call it. And to this day I still love it, and it actually takes me back to the times when I've been in Amsterdam, as well as many other memories, because I've been listening to it for donkey's years. So that is my favorite song.
Nice one.
Sure.
Timothy, you want to end it on whatever you were looking at, or?
Nas Rewind. That is a song that starts from it starts from when a guy gets shot, all the way to the point of the guy gets a phone call to basically say that this is going to happen, and it's all sung. It's all rapped in reverse order, but makes sense. It's fucking mustard. Listen to it. Love you lots.
Rewind.
Rewind. REWIND.
Mate, send it on the group chat. I'll listen to it, but I'll forget otherwise. Guys, pleasure as always. And yeah, it was good to get it back on track. And yeah, see you again in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah,
Cheers, boys.
Nice one.
Cheers, you boys. Have a good one.
Cheers, guys. Bye.